4:02 p.m. on November 12th, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Just some quick ground rules or some quick administrative issues. The restrooms are to my right in the hallway. If there's a fire alarm, please move swiftly to the doors. Do not use the elevators. When asked to speak, please step up to the lectern. Speak into the mic. The meetings are recorded, and be respectful. The rules of decorum are in place. Madam Clerk, can you please read the roll?
Supervisor Evans.
Here.
Councilwoman Cunningham.
Here.
Councilman Malone. Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Councilman Weiner.
Here.
Attorney for the town.
Okay, we had a great celebration for Veterans Day. I had the honor to speak at Goodwill Industries. We had their inaugural pinning ceremony, and that was a good time with veterans there. And yesterday, we welcomed students from Nazareth College that conducted a survey of the library. Is Irondequoit an age-friendly community? And Councilwoman Cunningham, do you know when they have the results of that, or what's the?
I do not. I will follow up with them, and I know that they're trying to get a meeting with you. So
Great. Okay. We'll make sure that happens. Right now we have a presentation from Pocachata and Isabella. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Izabela Tralauska.
Is the mic on?
Oh, is it? I can
Okay.
speak louder.
Okay.
My name is Izabela Tralauska. I'm the owner of Polska Chata LLC, also known as Polska Chata. Some of you may know once a year we have this celebration, which is called Dingus Day. The easiest description would be Oktoberfest, but Polish edition. So it's a fun day in a form of festival. It's open to the public. It's family friendly. We have people all ages enjoying it, from little kids to seniors. For the last 2 years, I feel like we're outgrowing our spot. We are located at 32 Vinedale Ave. We have limited parking spaces as well. So here I am today to ask if Town of Irondequoit could assist us with providing maybe a little bit bigger spot, maybe park or lot. And we are open to any suggestions if there is even possibility of it. So yes, thank you.
And as you know, we have a huge Polish tradition here in Irondequoit. A lot of the early settlers were from Poland and Ukraine and that part of the world, and I think it's important that we celebrate our heritage in that manner. Are any questions for the speaker from the town board?
when is the event?
I apologize. I thought I'm just pleading my case. The event will be April 26th, 2025. I also want to mention that it's a great exposure to Irondequoit because we have people coming not only from our local towns like Henrietta, Greece, or Webster. We have people traveling from Buffalo, lots of people from Buffalo, and also from Syracuse and that areas just for this event. So traditionally, we celebrating this in Poland. We're celebrating this on Monday, but last year we did poll with our customers, and everyone agreed that Saturday, if we move to Saturday, it would work best for everyone. So since last year we starting this event, we moved this event to Saturday, and it's a great. Again, great day to celebrate, and I believe even in our small spot we had just the estimated 700 people. It may be more, but I don't think we had less than that. throughout the day. It's a coming and going. And the event, again, it's a family friendly. We never had any issues. We have some competitions, fun competitions as well. We are the only one who's celebrating here. And again, I feel like it's a great exposure for town and for people to enjoy that day.
So would the winter farmers market building work for this type of expanded
It
operation?
it wouldn't work because we don't have an industrial kitchen.
So you need a kitchen in place?
So we would need a kitchen. We would need some kind of a kitchen so we can heat up the stuff. We can prepare food ahead of time, but we still need some kind of a kitchen to be able to heat the food on demand. And again, food and drinks are a huge part of that event.
We looked at a couple of areas that we do have. Mr. Lang, do you want to give kind of what you discovered?
Yeah, in kind of looking at what's necessary from their perspective in terms of warming up food, things like that, McAvoy Park was identified as a possible location. There would be space for a tent in a parking lot big enough to accommodate the kind of crowds that they're looking to get without causing, kind of disruption to public traffic and things like that. It's also a good area for exposure for this type of event.
And I think the area will also draw from Webster, Penfield, and also Runcorn, as well as Rochester. So I think looking at McAvoy and using the industrial kitchen there, if we do agree, we'll kind of expand the event a little bit more, give Runcorn a little bit more exposure, and again, since I like Polish food and your food is absolutely great.
Thank you.
I eat there often, as you can tell. Food is something I like to do. I think it would just enhance our family offerings.
I mean, I do know there's a German food vendor that has their own portable kitchen equipment that brings them into locations also. I don't know.
Yeah, again, we are open to any suggestions. We will explore and see what will work best for us and for town of Arundecoit. This was just something that we came up recently, and we are open to any suggestions, really.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not so much about this per se, but we're getting a lot of these requests now. So I'm wondering if if there's some policies that we want to look at, trying to be consistent from event to event, because there is a cost to the town, for sure. So while I do agree it brings people into the town and showcases our town, and please know I'm not singling out this one event
I totally understand.
at all. But I think we need to think about that.
And again, I totally understand and I totally agree, because we have to look at the logistics on our side as well. So I wasn't expecting to get anything for free. This is not why I'm here. I was just thinking maybe we can work something out that will work for both town of Arundecoit and also for our business. So I totally understand.
We used to have a lot of German, Irish festivals affiliated with the town. Love to have more.
Right, and please know I'm not.
Used to love the Italian festivals downtown, and
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, we do have great facilities here. We might as well use them. I'm just suggesting that we're, because of costs.
And one thing that distinguishes us is that we have I think the largest per capita mixture of ethnic food in the county. So I think this just enhances who we are as a community. And I agree with you about a policy of how to deal with this. And there's town law, there's state law, and I'm not sure, is there a legal perspective that we should be considering, Mr. Attorney?
I don't want to state one now, but I would reserve the right to address that, because there may well be at times.
Okay.
Anytime you have the town involved with a non-municipality, it raises legal issues.
Okay.
Gift giving, Article 3 of the Constitution, often comes into play, so it often requires us to contract in a certain way. But those are issues that can be addressed, baked into a standard policy if the town chooses one for all these types of events.
I would also just feel remiss I didn't mention the Ukrainian festival, but, you know, I mean, I feel like if, you know, I mean, the backyard was one of the areas too where, you know, we have the winter, I mean, if setting that up as a festival site that could be rented where, you know, we'd have that, wouldn't necessarily have that, you know, we just, I mean, that's basically, I mean, I know the town ran the German festival at Camp Eastman, but, you know, to have a festival site for various activities is not, I mean, I know Parrington now is using their facility to rent out for concerts and events, you know, things like that, so it's not like the worst idea to think about the feasibility of something like that somewhere, you know, and what we do and how we do it. I mean, there's certainly plenty. I do worry about McAvoy Park with the turf and whether we're setting up a tent on the turf or in the parking lot, you know, but then you're taking up parking, which might be valuable for the festival. So, you know, I just like the right balance of, you know, putting a facility up if we're putting, you know, providing a spot for a tent. You know, maybe there's electric or other facilities available in the ground disconnect so that people can, you know, rent the area or we have support space for it. But
Yeah, again, we are open to any suggestions. We can work with town and come up with whatever area is possible, what it will take for us to be able to run this event. Again, we're not doing festival. It's not like I want to say it's not a festival. However, it's almost in the form of festival because we have actual Polish festival. But you know, throughout the years, like I said, we see the same families growing, coming, and we have people now because we moved our celebration to Saturday. People who celebrating usually go on Monday to Buffalo, where it's this huge parade and huge event all day long. Now we have those people coming to us and celebrate with us. So I know we'll bring people. I know that. The last 2 years shows that, you know, even with this small space, and our supervisor was there last year, he saw that. And even with the small space, we have people enjoying. We have people who come at 11 and leaving at 8 o'clock. We have people who will just come, eat, you know, watch, let's say, band and leave right away. So we have people. We can bring people. We have entertainment, even though it's not Polish, that's a fun fact, but we have a polka band, for example. We have other bands, so again, I feel like we can go bigger. Again, if we can work something out, I know space and finance will be a huge deal breaker, so we still have some time. It's in April, so we still have some time, but I think if we can come up with something, it would be great.
I was just going to say thank you for giving some time as well, that this is not something that's happening next month. So I appreciate the advanced time.
I had some people, I'm not going to point out, who actually pushed me because I was ready to come in January, but you know, some people told me to move a little bit quicker and not wait. So I appreciate that as well.
I mean, one thing I will mention too, that I mean, the city does a food truck rodeo at their farmers market, so I mean that's similar but dissimilar. So there must be some way legally around how to do something that's a mixture of for-profit and not-for-profit.
Yeah, no, these things happen in municipalities all across the
Right.
state. It's just a matter of structuring them the right way.
Right.
Any other
Thank
questions, comments? Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Right, bye-bye. And now it's time for department head updates. We'll start with Mr. Tax Assessor.
Good afternoon, Supervisor and Board. A few weeks back, we sent out senior exemption application packages to the homeowners that we know were getting the senior discounts, the senior exemption last year. So we sent them the applications. We've had lots of input from the seniors coming in. The forms change slightly year by year, so we're happy to help the folks that come in, because sometimes they're confused because the forms change from year over to year. But for those that are watching this and listening, please come in. If you have questions, bring your questions. Let us help you get the form done right. Although the exemption packages aren't due till March 1st, we want people to bring them as soon as possible so that we can make sure that they are submitted on time within the deadline and complete. A law changed this year saying that the mailers that have to go out with respect to the senior exemptions 30 days prior to March 1st must now also include a reminder about veterans exemptions and disability exemptions. So that's it for exemptions. Our recent part-time clerk, who came on a few weeks ago, is doing a great job. We have 5 more small claims assessment review hearings to conduct at the end of November. And we continue to do site visits for citizens that come who want their house either remeasured, inventory checked, or wherever the case may be. We make ourselves available for people that are concerned about having the right inventory of their property reflected in the system. Pending any of your questions, that's all I have.
How old do you have to be considered a senior? Just
You have to be 65 in the years by the end of that year. So you don't necessarily have to be 65 the day that you're applying, but by the end of that year.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
How close are you?
No, I just wanted people to know. I'm a few years away.
Thank you. IT?
Thank you. IT's just been focused on service providers. Currently, we have finished our migration of fire panels off of Frontier's network onto network hookups instead of phone lines. So at this point, this month we're looking to reduce Frontier down to just one DSL line. So that should be a significant saving for the town. Also, we have just migrated the recreation center off of Spectrum to Greenlight.
Excellent, thank you. Madam Commissioner?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, thank you. In November, we wrapped up our brush pickup for this year. Not saying that if people do have rogue piles of brush, they can let us know when we would go back, but we are wrapped up with the annual season. We are ready for snow and ice. We've started to get plow trucks ready for plows and salters and inserts installed. Also happening at DPW for the rest of this month is the leaf drop off at our yard, so you can continue to come on Saturdays and Sundays between 9 and 1, drop off your leaves. In the backyard, we're wrapped up for this year, very close, a few minor tweaks with landscaping, but that'll close out that for this year, as well as keep plugging along with the restroom down at Camp Eastman.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask for any questions for IT from the board. Any questions for Madam Commissioner? Thank you.
I do ask that we speak into the mic because I'm having a hard time hearing. So I'm assuming on the radio, on the over broadcast, they're having a hard time as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Hopefully the mic's working, although I can't hear myself. Employees from our department attended a training session this past month, the New York State DEC and FEMA, regarding updates to floodplain mapping. That's like a semi-annual update, so now we have the latest issuance of those, as well as our participation in the National Flood Insurance Program. We do have more than 200 properties that are certificate holders of that, so it is an important part of what we offer as a town and how we can comply with the changing regulations there. I don't know if I mentioned it last month or not, but we did host, in partnership with the DPW, tour groups from across the region of the Great Lakes for the Great Lakes Symposium. It was, people from Michigan, Wisconsin, Ontario, looking to get an idea of what kind of ready projects and infrastructure projects we've implemented based on the changing heights of the waterfront around us. So it was an interesting perspective to hear, from folks that aren't from here, kind of the projects that we've highlighted throughout the last few years. We also continue to work on short-term rental related activities. Survey results are now available to be viewed on our website as well as our social media outlets. This is the third month in a row that we will now solicit public input on this matter. We've done it electronically. We've had in-person open houses, and next week, as we'll talk about in a little bit, there will be the opportunity for further public input on this matter. And the last update I have is Mary Werner, our code enforcement officer, retired today after 20 years of service to the town of Arundecoit, so I thank her for that, and I know that she would never admit this, but I know she does watch these meetings every month on YouTube, so she'll probably see it, so thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Director?
Thank you. Last month, we hosted our annual Trunk or Treat event at the community center. We had over 3,000 attendees at that event, so I wanted to thank all of the local businesses and entities that came out and sponsored a trunk. Several of our board members did as well as several of our departments, our town departments. So thank you, everyone, for participating in a very successful event last month with us. Ongoing right now, this past Thursday was our first winter market at the Winter Market Shed building. These will take place every Thursday from 4 to 7. Our vendor list is full for the winter market, so we kicked off our season with a jam-packed house, and it was a great turnout. So we're really excited to see, what this market is going to do as it continues to take off and grow. This coming Friday, the Recreation Department is a part of the Genesee Valley Recreation and Parks Society, and their annual regional conference and training is this coming Friday. So we have several staff that will be participating in that as well. And then upcoming, our holiday lighting and market event is on Sunday, December 1st from 4 to 7 o'clock. We will have activities over at the market building between 4 and 7, and at 6:30 we will all meet on the gazebo to light the tree and menorah for this holiday season. And then just final thing is our winter spring activity guide, which covers January 1 through the end of May 2025. We'll be hitting the street, right before the Christmas holiday. So that will provide an opportunity for folks to see what sort of activities, events, and services will be upcoming for the winter and spring of next year. And hopefully folks will enjoy what we have to offer. We're really excited about it.
Thank you. Captain?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So we're just wrapping up some year-end things, as is a lot of departments. We recently had a successful deployment of our new body-worn cameras. There's been a lot of positive feedback from the officers for functionality and ease of use, which is important. We're also finishing up our annual fall in-service training. On Saturday, November 23rd, we'll be holding our second annual Cops for the Community Cupboard donation event at IPD. The hours of the event will be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Last year was a great success, so we're hoping for the same this year. We'll have all our specialty vehicles out there, as well as our patrol cars. And most importantly, we'll have the Chick-fil-A cow there to hand out cookies and coupons. Some things that were mentioned that the community cupboard needs is shampoo, conditioner, dog food, mashed potatoes, pasta, pasta sauce, coffee, tea, hot cocoa, and canned meals. And lastly, on Saturday, December 7th, from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., we're going to be continuing our annual Shop with a Cop program at Target. We usually have around 12 kids, and this is truly a great event where we're able to spend some quality time with the kids and put a smile on their face. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk?
In the clerk office, we've just finished up wrapping up the tax season. We'll start again in January for the town and county taxes. We are currently seeking a clerk 4 in the tax office. And it's been a robust hunting season. It's winding down, but we're still issuing lots of Joe tags.
Thank you. Madam Controller?
Thank you,
Mr. Supervisor. We are working to complete the budget, which will be presented to the board next Monday on the 18th for adoption. Other than that, we are working on our debt issuance that will be issued on December 11th. That'll be a ban issuance for the ongoing capital improvement plan that was put in place, and just day-to-day paying bills.
And Mr. Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. My office continues to provide services to the various departments, advising on various host of issues to the different departments, and addressing the never-ending stream of legal issues, and will continue to do that. One thing I do bring to the board is a bit of good news on the litigation front. As you know, there's been an ongoing litigation matter, Petrina Freeman v. Rory Fitzpatrick, and that has finally come to resolution. And that is a piece of action that was brought by the plaintiff back in September, and it was finally resolved end of October. And the parties came to mutual agreement of terms. There's no admission of liability, which is not unusual for settlements, but there is some acknowledgement by the plaintiff that the action should not have been brought, and as stated in the agreement, is an apology for initiating the action. There's also something a bit unusual, and that is a charitable donation to be made to the Irondequoit Community Cupboard. That is, again, unusual in a settlement agreement, but we're happy to see it. And this matter has been signed off. There is a final step to be done, which is known and referred to as a so order action by the judge to make it final. But the agreement has been signed by the parties, by their respective counsel, and there's also a stipulation of discontinuance that has been signed by Tracy Hyatt, who has assisted the town in representing Mr. Fitzpatrick in this matter. And I expect in short order that the matter will be finally closed.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
Thank God.
Madam Controller, I think that we have a financial report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The 2024 financial results for the town as of October 31st.
Is it still not working?
Is it better?
I don't think any of the mics are working great tonight, so been very hard to hear a few people that speak, so.
Total expenditures and encumbrances are $35,225,000, or 78.2% of budget, lower than the 83.3% of the year that has elapsed. That variance was comprised of $33,757,000 of actual expenditures, along with $1,468,000 of encumbrances. The encumbrances are reasonable at 3.3% of budget, as departments continue to utilize open encumbrances for commodities, supplies, and services for the year. Expenses in the general fund are 79.7% of budget, $23,515,000, which is below the percent of the year that has elapsed. The breakdown is actual expenditures, $22,723,000, and an additional $791,000 of encumbrances. The highway fund expenses of $4,886,000 exceed the percent of the year that has elapsed are lower than the percent of the year that has elapsed at 78.5%. Street resurfacing and paving are primary contributing factors to the variance. Actual expenditures of $4,566,000 represent 73.4% of spending, while encumbrances of $320,000 remain for fuel and asphalt in Highway 1, vehicle maintenance and equipment parts in Highway 3, and salt in Highway 4.
The library expenses are $2,227,000, below budget at 78%. As indicated in prior reports, this total includes debt service for the library bond. The sewer fund has expended $3,043,000, or 74.2% of budget. Stormwater drainage expenses total $478,000, or 50.9% of budget. As of October 31st, the general fund has recorded $21,286,000 of revenue, equating to 80% of budget. The major general fund revenues received to date include real estate tax of $12,790,000. Payment in lieu of tax revenue is in at $298,000, or 128%. Sales tax of $2,744,000 represents 5 months of revenue at 41% of budget. And aid and incentives to municipalities at $613,000. In October, the town received franchise cable TV revenue of $272,000. Recreation program fees equate to 96.1% and the amount of $647,000. Cemetery revenues of $144,000 of budget have been recorded. The town summary after 10 months. Total revenue for the town is $35,364,000, or 84.9% of budget. Real estate taxes of $19,279,000 across funds have been received. The library has received 100% of revenue, a sum of $2,836,000. Highway has recorded $5,196,000, or 86% of revenue. The sewer has collected 102% of budget for a total of $3,921,000, and stormwater drainage has verified 102.7% of revenue at $965,000. This concludes the financial report for the end of October 2024.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, we have a couple of agenda items to review for our November 19th meeting. Madam Clerk, can you read the first item? I'm sorry. Are there any questions on the budget? Okay, Madam Clerk, can we read the first item?
First item would be a public hearing. The resolution be approving a special use permit for 55 and 61 Waldo Avenue in the R2 residential district.
May I have an explanation?
Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Town Board. Again, this is regarding the conditional special use permit for 55 and 61 Waldo Avenue for the proposed use of a nonprofit organization at this location for the Margaret Home.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Madam Clerk, read the next item.
Item number 2 would be a public hearing resolution approving the application to apply for the Restore New York NYS grant program for 4530 St. Paul Boulevard and 400 Skyview Center Parkway.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. This is as part of the Restore New York process, which we solicit public input for our application towards funding a grant program for either one of those addresses at this time.
Are there any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, can you read the next item?
Item number 3 under the public hearings would be a resolution adopting the results of the short-term rental survey.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. This is in relation to our continuing output of public input for short-term rentals, as well as sharing the results of the survey that was performed, which are now available on our website.
Any questions or comments?
I have a question. So how are we going to be disseminating the information on the survey at the meeting, or are we?
There will be a short presentation by Labella, who were the ones that compiled the results.
And then anyone from the public wishing to speak has an opportunity to speak?
Yes.
So everyone that's been attending the periodic meetings, this would be a good one to make sure that they attend. And anyone else, Perfect, thank you.
And the result's going to be on all our platforms, right? Our webpage, Facebook, all the all.
I did
already
see,
there.
I did see that on Facebook today, it did have the post and the redirect towards the survey. So
Yeah,
anyone looking on social media or on the town website, I'm sure can get that.
they're already posted on every outlet we have the opportunity to put them on, so they are out there.
And we have, when we have IT, can we pin it so that it can be one of the first things that come up for the public, so they don't have to search through the feed, or is that possible, not possible?
As social media will just kind of run, we'll have to repost to get that up to the top. But we do have it as the front post on the website, so it's always available there.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
No, just another comment, just to, take off of what Peter mentioned, that all of our email addresses are out there on the town website. We're always looking for input. This isn't the only survey. It may be the survey, but it's not the only input that we're looking at. So we're all available to take comments and suggestions.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk?
Items under appointments. Resolution number 1, authorizing the provisional appointment of a custodian.
May I have an explanation?
Can you hear me? Oh, yes, thank you. This would be a permanent appointment, a provisional permanent appointment for a full-time custodian within the building maintenance division. The individual we're looking to get appointed is named Devin Hale. He, very eager, and we're excited to get him on staff to, help upkeep our town facilities.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, read the next item.
Item number 2, resolution authorizing the permanent appointment of an assessment clerk.
May I have an explanation?
I wasn't aware that this was for the permanent appointment of the assessment clerk, the part-time one?
No, the permanent. Carol Lucy.
Yeah, I wasn't in concert, in step with HR to know that that was up for
I can take this one.
Roger that.
I think she passed the exam, and congratulations to Carol. And so we're moving that from provisional to a permanent appointment. So congratulations, Carol.
Roger. And then, yeah, so that I did know, and she did get a very terrible score of 100, just FYI.
All right. Any questions or comments? Please read the next item.
Item number 3, resolution authorizing the permanent appointment of a payroll clerk.
And I would take that one also. Anna Ortiz has been a great addition to the staff. And just for the record, she stepped in to help me, and she's just simply an all around again. She took the exam and passed it, and we're looking at making her the permanent clerk from provisional. Any other questions or comments? Please read the next item.
Item number 4, resolution filling a conservation board vacancy.
We have an explanation.
Can you, okay, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, we would like to propose to the board to the appointment of Gary Adams. Gary Adams was previously on the Conservation Board from 2018 to 2019, but had to resign due to personal requirements, and has expressed interest in rejoining the Conservation Board. Town staff interviewed him. The liaison, Commissioner McGee, and Scott Davis, who also assists as Conservation Board liaison, and myself interviewed him, and we would like to present Mr. Gary Adams to fill a position on the Conservation Board.
And I just want to say that I spent some time talking to him. Great knowledge and I think it'll be a great addition to the Conservation Board. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Number 5, authorizing the adoption of the 2025 Arundecoit Historic Preservation Commission meeting schedule.
You have an explanation?
Yes, sir. If I may, for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 resolutions, these are all the 2025 schedules for the Historic Preservation Commission, the Zoning Board of Appeals, the Planning Board, and the Conservation Board. They're all in relation to each other, setting the schedule for 2025, if that helps at all.
Any questions or comments? Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, can you read the next item?
Would you like to have those read as far as into the minutes?
Just read them into record and then just go to the next one.
Okay. Item number 6 would be authorizing the adoption of the 2025 Arundecoit Conservation Board meeting schedule. Item number 7 would be a resolution authorizing the adoption of the 2025 Arundecoit Planning Board workshop and meeting schedule. And item number 8 would be authorizing the adoption of a 2025 Arundecoit Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedule.
Thank you. Next item.
Item number 9 is a walk-in. It is awarding the bid of a contract for the demolition of 95 Lake Bluff Road.
Mr. Director?
Yes, thank you. This is pursuant to Resolution 7A 2024-12, which was in relation to Town Code Section 104, vacant, unsafe structures. This is an ongoing action relative to 95 Lake Bluff Road, which awards a bid that was done through competitive bidding to Roth Enterprises to furnish the demolition of 95 Lake Bluff Road.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 10, resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into contracts and accepting funding for the DWI programs.
Madam Captain?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution is to accept the annual Stop DWI Local Enhanced Funding for 2025 in the amount of $11,844, as well as the annual Stop DWI High Visibility Engagement Campaign funds in the amount of $3,200, which covers certain holiday periods throughout the year.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 11, resolution awarding a bid for the electrical services for the town of Arundecoit facilities.
Have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. We went out to bid for electrical services throughout town facilities, and the lowest responsible bidder was Kaplan Schmidt. We do have a relationship with them in the past, and we're very excited to get them back on board. They're great electricians.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 12, resolution awarding a bid for the scoreboards at McAvoy Park.
You have an explanation.
Yes, similarly, we went out to bid for the scoreboard replacement at McAvoy Park, and the lowest responsible bidder was their name, Toth Sports, yeah, so this would replace the 2 scoreboards at McAvoy Park to make them functional and upgraded with the rest of the facility.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 13, resolution declaring certain equipment as surplus property.
You have an explanation?
Yeah, this would surplus, our normal surplus resolution with the attachment on the back. It's our stump grinder, and we would put this up for online municipal auction.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 14, resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into a contract for HVAC services at various town of Arundecoit facilities.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, we solicited requests for proposals for HVAC services throughout our town facilities. We did establish the interview committee, and the recommendation will be from the board, from the group to go with Monroe Piping. We did also interview another HVAC contractor, Landry Mechanical. But we will put together a memorandum, but with Monroe Piping, the group was in agreement to stick with Monroe Piping.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 15, resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with Point Pleasant Fire District.
Have an explanation?
Yes, this is a renewal of our intermunicipal agreement with the Point Pleasant Fire District. We carry these with all the fire districts in town, and this is for services on their parking, paving, or drainage issues that they would recoup. They would pay us back for the time and material that town staff spent on their services.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 16, resolution authorizing the special events 2025 calendar.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. This resolution will allow us to set our 2025 special events calendar so that we can move forward with the planning of the calendar list.
And just for the board transparency, we're also looking at a couple more other events. So what's different this year is I had Madam Director at a couple of those events that we're looking at doing. Doesn't mean that they will happen. Just let you know what the planning process is with the staff and I. Any other questions? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 17, resolution facilitating the planning of special events.
We have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. This resolution actually came to pass last year when we had a discussion about how special event planning is a pretty fluid field and requires some flexibility for the planners. And what we decided would work best is to allow myself as the Director of Recreation to authorize contracts up to $2,000 on behalf of the town. And this would help us for events like where there's inclement weather and we have to cancel an event, so a band has to be rescheduled, or, if a vendor or a contractor has to drop out at the last minute for an event, we are able to go ahead and move forward and secure contracts without going through the entire process with the board and the supervisor's office.
And one other thing I wanted to point out for both these events, while we're on special events, I think that you and Caitlin's done a wonderful job of bringing the events to us. So I greatly appreciate that. And something for consideration for the next budget cycle is actually increasing the office for special events, because I think one person or two people doing it is a bit much. Having a whole year of seeing it, I think that we need to get Ms. Bailey a permanent assistant or someone with additional marketing skills that can actually enhance the town. So I just want to put that on the record. I think that at some point we have to discuss that small expansion to the rec staff. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Number 18.
Sorry.
I did have one. So when these expenses occur, do you report back to the board in some way after the fact?
We didn't in the past. I mean, we certainly could. I don't see that being an issue. It doesn't happen often.
Right,
It just,
I know.
it gives us the flexibility in the case that something pops up. But
And I approve all of the requisitions
Okay.
that come across the board,
Perfect, that's fine.
and the controller looks at them also.
That's exactly what I was looking for, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 18, resolution authorizing surety form and amount of official undertaking for the faithful performance of the duties of the town clerk and the receiver of taxes and assessments.
May I have an explanation?
So I believe this is what bonds myself and my tax collector for the year for the town.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, does that conclude the items? No.
One more.
Please read the next item.
Item number 19, resolution approving the special event license for the Seabreeze Volunteer Fire Association.
May I have an explanation?
So this is their annual Christmas parade festival fireworks show that they put on, which will be held on December 14th, 2024.
Any questions or comments? Okay, I think we have 2 items for board action tonight. Madam Clerk, can you read the first item?
Item number 1, resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Wait, There's More LLC for the 2025 Hoochie Festival.
Motion to adopt?
I'll move it.
Second?
Second.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, thank you. This resolution would allow us to move forward in partnership with But Wait, There's More LLC for the 2025 Hoochie Music Festival, scheduled to take place August 8th to 10th at Camp Eastman. I believe we've done our due diligence in researching what this event would look like for the town of Arundecoit. We've met with all pertinent department heads. We've done a cost-benefit analysis. The folks who actually coordinate this Hoochie Music Festival are also the coordinators of the International Jazz Festival in Rochester each year, as well as the Rock Holiday Village, which was recently nominated by USA Today as one of the top 10 best holiday villages in the country. So I believe that this is a great opportunity for Arundecoit to work with this group and put on this festival.
And we do have the cost-benefit analysis in your packet. If there's any questions, comments?
I love the idea. Again, I think in the bigger picture moving forward, I think that this is, a part of me really wanting to get a little bit more understanding of just a policy, making sure that we're being very careful and good stewards of our facilities and our time and talents too. This is certainly, I really appreciate the cost analysis. I just want to make sure moving forward, I think this is going to be really successful and others will want to come and do events as well. So I'm trying to look forward.
One of the items I saw in here was the revenue source of parked cars. And I really want to make sure that if we're looking at the options for how do we get that cashless or cash and how we're going to be dealing with that, because that probably will take some advanced planning.
Absolutely. We're already in discussion, pre-planning discussion about it. Obviously, we haven't nailed down all the details or secured anything, but that's definitely a point of concern for us as well to make sure that that's handled appropriately.
Yeah, looking through this, thank you, because I think, most of the bases have been covered, but it's a first-time event, and there's going to be things that hopefully is not that unexpected, but yeah, I'm glad we went through this, Diana, thank you, and Shannon as well, too, to go through this. This is good. It's a good event. I'm certainly sure it'll be successful. And that same concern I had that Pete had about the parking, we'll have to see what we got. It's a lot of money, if it's, and the only concern we'll just have to have if they need overflow parking. We're gonna have to see what happens with
Yeah, I
that.
thought about that too, because it's a
They
busy
can't
area.
park on Lakeshore Boulevard. They're gonna have to go into the neighborhoods. It's not, so we'll have to just see. But if it's that successful, it's a good, it's a good thing anyway. But that was the only concern that I had about the parking, because it will generate a lot of money. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, that's all.
One of the things I will do is speak with Mayor Evans about using Lot A as overflow.
Is that the closest one?
That's the closest one
The
to
entrance?
to the entrance. And then we just have to look at either crossing guard or police to cross the, even though we have lights there.
Yeah, because if it's a hot weekend, it'll be busy down there along Lake Shore anyway, so, okay, very good.
And is there any truth to the rumor that Modern English is reforming to play at this event?
I'm not the person who can make that announcement. So.
If there is no further questions or comments, I'll ask all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 2, resolution authorizing the allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funding.
Motion to adopt.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
And I think I'll go ahead and with the explanation. We have a request from Uplift, formerly Drug Free Irondequoit, for funding and for transparency purposes. I am as a representative of the town of Irondequoit, I was one of the charter volunteers for the organization. That's been, over 10 years ago? But I think I've seen the work that they have done, both then and now as town supervisor. They suffered some loss of funding due to COVID. We also have an increased mental health crisis with our young people, their primary targets, and increased drug use among that same population. So what I'd like to do is fund $100,000, which would give them not only the ability to recover, but the ability to really address the mental health crisis that are going on with our kids in our school district. Are there any questions or comments?
Just a comment, I appreciate that the board is entertaining this. As a part of transparency, I am on Uplift Irondequoit's board, so I will be abstaining from this vote, but I am 100% supportive of the funding. Uplift does have a few grants, but they're restricted, so having this ability to have some unrestricted funds is really going to help the students in our entire town and beyond. Uplift does a lot of partnerships with agencies in the area, so and I think that there may be some opportunity to partner with the town of Irondequoit as well on future events.
Okay, and Mr. Attorney can correct me. I don't think that, just since it was so long ago, I don't think I should abstain from the vote. I don't work currently with
Why
them.
would you have to abstain?
I was just wondering, I was making sure. Okay,
I don't even know if Ann has to abstain. I mean, she's not benefiting financially from this.
Yeah, well, Ann is on it, you're currently on the board. I would suggest that Ann abstain.
okay,
I don't think it's necessary, you have 3 people.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, if there are no other further questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
I will mention that according to our rules of the board, there's no abstentions unless, I believe it's a nay.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
I could make a joke, but I won't.
With that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And one,
Lovingly nay.
Begrudgingly.
the resolution is adopted. We probably should fix that in our,
I never liked it.
okay, when we put on the agenda to fix. And I think with the passing of the last resolution, this concludes our workshop with the exception of one overlook that I have. Give me a time to go backwards. Exciting news. The Landmark Society on November 17th is recognizing the town of Irondequoit and our former historian for the work that they've done in preserving the Pioneer Village and the other buildings. So the Landmark Society will be having an award ceremony, as well as the work with getting Wilmington first neighborhood on historical docket. So that will be happening on November 17th. The town will be getting an award along with recognition for All Pass Historian. So I want to personally thank the town board for the future of fully funding the historical, the conservation board and the historian, because I think they do some valuable work in looking at who we are, and there'll be some more resolutions about how we preserve our history and digitize it going forward in the future. With that, the next special meeting to adopt the budget will be Monday, November 18th, 2024 at 4 p.m. The next town board meeting will be November 19th at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The meeting is adjourned.